One of the best ways to make money online, in my humble opinion, is courses and coaching programs. The nice thing is we can combine both these things, and to launch this, we're going to do it in the most laziest way possible. So lazy that in fact it feels almost like cheating, but I want to give you a little disclaimer here. No, this isn't going to be the most easiest thing in the world to do. There's still going to be work to do. However, once you push this, once you get the momentum going, it is going to run on autopilot. I'm not talking affiliate links per se where you make maybe 20 bucks per se. I'm talking anywhere between $5,000 a month in recurring revenue or 10 grand a month in recurring revenue. This is the laziest way that you can make money online today. Now, why am I choosing to stick to coaching and course building when there are different ways that you can make money online? I mentioned one of them, which is affiliate links. And I think for me anyway, when we're talking the laziest way, we also talk about leverage. We have to mention leverage. I think a lot about time. I'm imagining right now as you're watching this, you're working in a 9-to-5 job, or maybe you're running a business and you're kind of stuck at that $5,000 a month, and maybe you want to go a little bit higher, or you're just considering launching a business and you want to know what's the laziest way to make money online. And the reason I'm choosing coaching and courses to go about this is because the nice thing is with courses, for example, once you get them going and once you have momentum, you are making money literally while you sleep. One of my most exciting times, I've been in business now for 4 or 5 years and made some money while I'm doing it. I think at this point, I've made almost $500,000 in the last 4 or 5 years. So I've made some money online. And the most exciting for me was those times that I make $100 off a course literally while I'm sleeping. I'll see the notification when I wake up and I think to myself, man, this is the way to do it. This is the way that you can, again, make money and not have to give a lot of effort. Of course, I like doing what I do for the higher ticket stuff, the agency work that I do, that's $4,000 a month. That's awesome. But there is a lot of work that goes into it, and it does chip away at the profitability. So today, that's why I'm sticking to the coaching element. You can still charge a little bit higher ticket than you can for a affiliate linked $20 thing for telling people to go get Kajabi or whatever Heap or whatever software you like to talk about. I think this is a little bit better leveraged way to do it. Now, when people think about courses and coaching programs, think about really long runways that they need. I need to develop the thing. I need to film the course. I got to tweak the workshop. I'm telling you right now, you can launch this thing the most simplest path ever that I'm going to give you today. And it all starts with building in person, which sounds like something you would not want to do, right? But the truth of the matter is, the nice thing about building in person or building while you're doing it and selling it while you're doing it is you're getting paid to build something you're going to sell later on. So what does it mean to build in public? Basically what you're doing is instead of taking the months, and in some cases, some people take years to develop a course and then ultimately never launching, you're going to build as you go and sell each session. So I want you to think about it like this. Imagine you think about a coaching program and you're someone that likes to coach on how to have great conversations, or maybe leadership, for example. If you think about what are all the sessions, if you will, what are all the lessons that you would normally teach, and maybe just take a moment and write them all down, and you start with one. Now, that one that you do, the lesson, let's say it's just literally, what is servant leadership 101? That's your first lesson. What you're going to do is you're going to take a couple days and think about, if you were training a group of people, what would that look like? Invite people to it. And the best part is you're going to charge a nominal fee to attend that session. Think of it like a live webinar, if you will. So this live webinar that you're going to do, you're going to charge $27 to, and you're just going to deliver this content. You're not going to upsell. You're not going to do all that. You're literally just going to deliver that content. But here's the thing. You're going to record it. I'll tell you why in a minute. You're going to go through your list in lesson 1, again, servant leadership 101. The next session comes up and you're going to come up with another topic and you're going to do it again. $7, $30, whatever you want to charge for it. By the time you're done going through all the lessons you can think of, you now have accumulated over time. Let's say somebody went to every single one. They're probably over time going to give you $500, let's say, over the course of all of your series of videos that you do. By the end of you being done, not only do you have money for building, you now have a finished course. You're going to take all those videos and you're going to use your favorite software. For courses, mine's like Kajabi because I think it's pretty easy. There's tons of them out there. you can choose from, I don't know, whichever one's your favorite. I like Kajabi. That's where my course is today. And you're simply going to put all those videos of the live trainings in there. And guess what? You can now launch. So by the time it takes normal people, right? When they do a course, like I'll give you a real world example. There was 2 courses that I've launched. The first one was my first course ever, which I built in public. I did it this method, right? It took me 2 weeks to complete my course. All right. I was launching a session every other day, pretty much. I had an idea for it. I said, okay, I know what lesson I want to do. I have the idea. And then I would just turn around, tell people. At the time, Clubhouse was popular. So I'd go on Clubhouse and tell people, hey, come to this session. It's going to be great. Pay me $20, whatever. I filmed it. And then after 2 weeks, I had the finished product. I had the course. Now you fast forward 3-4 years later, and I have this, I've learned a lot more. There's stuff around funnels and flywheels and content and how do you do a high ticket sales call. I had this idea to what now is the high ticket enrollment system. And it took me 3 years to complete this course. Why? Because I was overthinking it. That is the trap when you start thinking about coaching programs and courses. Sometimes we know too much. And so we're like, oh no, we need even more information in here. I need to make sure that the editing is right. And we overthink it when in fact, people are buying this simply for the information and the know-how to be able to execute and get the value that they want out of it, right? So overthinking it caused me to literally not come out with it for 3 years. And I just procrastinated it up until I said, you know what? I'm just going to build this thing in public. I'm going to take what I have, launch it, and as I go, I'll continue to build. So now we have this finished course, and now people that have attended, maybe they have attended more than, half of it. You can say, hey, guess what? I have the course now, and you get it for free. And for those that, for example, didn't attend, they've only attended 1 or 2, you then sell them the course. And now you have it on autopilot. But Raylen, I have a question. What about the coaching program? You talked about the coaching program. Some of my favorite types and styles of coaching programs is when the back end of it or the foundation of it is based on a course. So now the course is your guiding light for your coaching program. When people go through the course, let's say they hire you for the coaching program. The course is $2,000. The coaching program is $10,000. Okay. So if they go through your coaching program, they get the course, which is normally valued at $2,000 or whatever. And then every lesson you have, whether it's one-to-many or one-to-one, you start from the principle of, all right, step 1 is watch. Again, we're using the leadership analogy, Servant Leadership 101. Watch the video before our session. So they come to the meeting prepared, they come with context, and now you have, again, a guiding principle to take you through the coaching program. And the best part is if they forget something and they're like, man, Raylen mentioned this in this training, and I don't remember what he said, they can go back to the course and watch it and review it. And I'm sure you're going to have workshops and all that other stuff. Or worksheets, I should say, for every lesson. And oh, by the way, talk about laziness and building. If you have a course, if you have my high ticket enrollment course, you'll notice that there's worksheets that is attached to every single one. It's almost like a too long to read version of the lesson that I have in there. Well, how did I come up with that really complicated worksheet, you may ask? I literally just took the transcript of the lesson, put it in ChatGPT and said, give me a worksheet that people can follow along with this, and they can read this and know what I'm talking about. That was it. So what normally would take me forever to develop took me a matter of weeks once I stopped procrastinating, of course. So why does this work? There's a few reasons for it, but I think more than anything, people like seeing behind the scenes. We think that we have to show up and be perfect and everything has to be put together and it has to be looked, extremely polished. But the truth is people like behind the scenes. People like to see what it takes to actually build something. And they also like to come along on the journey. Right. And then especially when you're building a good audience and you're building a good community, they want to feel like they're a part of the creation of this thing. And so when you build in public, what it does is it gives you more authenticity, right? You're not this perfect person out there and, that is like everybody else. They get to build along with you and actually give you advice. One of my favorite things about launching the way that I did with this last course was that people were like, hey, Raylen, I really like if you add this lesson. And I didn't even think about that. I was like, you know what? That's a good point. I forgot that you actually need this as a part of your journey of getting your first $5,000 to $10,000 a month. So you know what? Let me go ahead and add that to the course. So you're going to get tons of feedback. There's nothing worse than taking months or if not years to build a course and then realizing, crap, there's like a bunch of lessons that I haven't finished with. And again, if you're worried about, well, what if I think about later on to add something? Again, depending on your platform, you can think on it like about, not to make this about Kajabi, but like I'm not an affiliate or anything like that, but when you launch a course, I just did this recently. I launched a course, then I realized that I wanted to add something about YouTube to it. So I just added it to the course and made an announcement for everyone that already had it. Like, hey, guess what, guys? I added a course. Every time you add something to it, you can then raise the price of the course. So this, in my humble opinion, is the laziest way to build something high ticket. To build in public, and again, it could be a coaching program or a course. If you're smart, you combine the two. And so if we were to kind of break this down to steps, step one, choose your topic. Figure out what you want to discuss, what you want to train people on. Step two, start with the first lesson and invite people to a live viewing of you teaching the concept. Again, you can call it a webinar, call it whatever you want. The trick is to make sure that you record it. Okay, so record it. That's your first lesson and go through until you feel like you've got a good V1 of this. And again, I cannot stress this enough. It has to be a V. If you go into it saying, I'm not going to launch the course until I have this thing perfectly ironed out, you will never have it perfect. Again, the course that I have right now, the high ticket enrollment system, I'm telling you right now, I'm not done with it. I'm not going to probably ever be done with it. There's always things changing, especially in software. There's different strategies that I want to, like, it's never going to be done. I'm always just going to keep adding to it. And so just go into it and saying, what is the minimum, the MVP, what is the minimum viable product that I can put out and actually get people some value, right? And then continue to add to it. Once you do that, you have a course, you have a coaching program. Now all you do is just tell people about it. All right, so that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have you launched anything like this before? I want to know below. And if you are someone that's like, I want to launch a course or I want to launch a coaching program, but you've been procrastinating, let me know what's holding you back. I'm telling you, this strategy is probably the way that you can get out of that procrastination and actually launch something. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps. Obviously, hitting that stupid like button just tells people that, hey, this is valuable and people got something from it. If you don't do that, no one's going to see it, which maybe you're selfish and you just want to keep it to yourself. Fine, whatever. Either way, I appreciate you watching. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.